Hello and welcome to Connection. Having experienced years of war, livelihood and infrastructure support, though crucial, is not alone sufficient to help the displaced and war-affected communities move forward. Among the key issues that need to be addressed is psychosocial support that isn't given enough prominence. This is one of the things that can help these people move forward by coping with their losses and experiences of war. The Sri Lanka Foundation Institute in Colombo was the venue for an evening of music, art and photography. Such creative expression is encouraged by the Cartwheel Initiative that views this as an effective coping strategy for these children who have been affected by the conflict in some way or another.
The idea is to bring the power of the arts to children in Sri Lanka, especially in the aftermath of the war, and basically give them an idea or give them some new ideas how they can move forward, think about the positive, because there's been a lot of negatives and we want to focus on the positive.
According to Ashok Sinha, co-founder of the Cartwheel Initiative, the aim of these workshops held in Sri Lanka for the first time is to give the children hope to think and act differently through the power of art.
மிகவும் ஒரு இக்கட்டான சூழ்நிலையில நாங்க இருக்கேங்க இவே வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு மகிழ்வூட்டுற வகையில பல ப்ரோகிராம்ஸ் செய்துக்கறாங்க இவேண்ட இந்த ப்ரோகிராம்ஸால நாங்க கொஞ்சம் அந்த யுத்தத்துல பாதிக்கப்பட்ட அந்த சூழ்நிலையில இருந்து வெளியால வர்றதுக்கு இவேண்ட இந்த ப்ரோகிராம் உங்களுக்கு உதவியா இருந்துச்சு என்ன போல பலருக்கு அந்த கேமராவை யூஸ் பண்ற முறையும் எப்படி போட்டோஸ் எடுக்கிறது ஒண்ணுமே தெரியாது இவங்களுடைய ஹெல்ப்பால என்ன போல பல சகோதரருக்கு நான் சொல்லி கொடுக்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கு
My name's Rachel Yays. I'm an art therapist. I wanted to be involved so that I could have an opportunity to work internationally with children. It's always been a dream of mine being an art therapist, and I knew there was a desperate need for it here in Sri Lanka, so I felt it was a great mission to be a part of.
Very good, very good.
I feel that using art as a method with children that have been traumatized by conflict is the ideal method to reach them, because for so many reasons they're not able to let out their feelings and their thoughts about their experience.
My name is Lara and I'm a graphic designer. I've owned a website and graphic design firm for 20 years. It was fascinating to me, just everything about it, the idea of working with kids, which I've always really been drawn to, the idea of trying to make a difference to people in the world in a very specific way, reaching particular kids rather than doing something very generic like donating money to a cause, but actually looking at somebody and helping them and forming a relationship with them and knowing afterwards that you made a difference in their lives. We did 5 collage pieces and each one was different. My favorite one is a big 2-part process where the first thing we did was teach painting techniques with different unusual items. I would hold up a comb and say, what is this? And they'd say, it's a comb. I'd say, what do you do with it? I comb my hair. Well, have you ever painted with a comb? Painted with a comb. And they got those looks like, what is this all about? So we painted with toothbrushes and cotton balls and string and straws. And we made all of these interesting abstract patterns and left them to dry. And then the second day we cut them up and made a collage out of them, and it was breathtakingly beautiful. Several of the collages had an art therapy aspect to them. The first one that I mentioned in particular, where we made all these painting techniques, we did about 150 of them, just doing them one after another and spreading them all out to dry. And then we cut them into pieces. And it's a little bit disconcerting for the kids to take scissors and cut up their own artwork. and to share. You know, it was a different concept. It wasn't like they went and took their techniques and cut theirs up. Everybody shared everybody's, and it was a bit of an adjustment there. But you know, when we would gather the leaves, it wasn't your pile of leaves versus her pile of leaves. It was everybody's leaves together. So it was sharing materials, and then it was deconstructing those painting techniques and creating a collage out of them. So destroying something and creating something new, which is very symbolic for what these kids have been through.
I'm Billy Fox, the composer-director of 2 New York-based groups. So many people, when you ask the question, what is good music? What does it mean to be a good musician? They think in terms of technical proficiency, virtuosity, but to me, and this is true of every art form, it's about communication. So the task is to learn to speak in your natural voice, and that's something everyone can do.
My name is Katie Humphreys, and I'm a photographer and educator.
Ah, I like it.
I like to teach children that it's kind of what happens when you blink. If you open your eyes right after you blink and then you close them again, and then you store that image in your mind. I think every child has certain images that they kind of hold on to in their memory in a certain way. And I think relating photography to memory is important for children. I think it interests them. Really being critical observers of our surroundings, because I think what happens to people when they're in an environment that they're very familiar with and they're in the same place for a long time, they quit noticing things. You know, simple things like the leaves changing colors, you know, a certain animal, you know, a certain time of day, how the light is. You know, so critical observers. From the technical point of view, I want them to understand how to use the cameras, how the camera functions. From more of a philosophical point of view, I kind of want them to be thinking in a new way, to be looking around at the world that they live in with a greater curiosity.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I didn't expect that the workshops would affect the kids quite so much. The third workshop that I held, 2 of the kids started crying when it was over, and that was extremely surprising to me. I mean, I knew we were going to be making an impact on them, but I didn't expect quite that much. And it really drove home how much these things mean to the kids. You know, that they don't really have a lot of attention paid to them in their needs.